Am I the asshole for no longer letting my boyfriend eat what I cook after he rated my food in front of my family? I'm sorry if formatting is bad because I'm on mobile. Mobile.
Mobile.
Mobile? Mobile? What am I, fucking British? I wish. My 25 boyfriend, Jerry, 31, has a culinary art diploma. He works 2 jobs related to his field, one as a chef in a restaurant and 2 as a cooking instructor. We've been dating for almost 16 months now, by the way. I had no real experience in cooking, but he encouraged me to learn and helped my skills improve so much, even though he has a habit of rating every meal I cook, which I find a bit rude. For example, X meal gets 7 out of 10, or Y meal gets 8.3 out of 10. Or even Z meal would have gotten 9 out of 10 if the sauce wasn't so salty, etc. I didn't feel great with him rating my food, no matter the score. But he says he's helping me improve, so... My family came over to visit and I wanted to cook their favorite meals. Jerry sat with my parents and chatted till the food was ready. He started eating and kept making comments about my choice of meals. Once he put his fork down, he cleared his throat and literally started rating every dish I made by giving me 7 out of 10 for this, 4.8 out of 10 for this, and 6 out of 10 for that. My family were so confused and I was floored. I felt awful as he kept giving advice on how to improve my score next time. He kept a straight face while doing it. It was awkward, just awkward the entire evening. We had a huge argument after my family left, and I told Jerry that he acted poorly and embarrassed me when he started rating my food in front of my family. I said to him that I won't have him eat what I cook anymore. He said I was overreacting and claimed what he was doing is just constructive criticism, and I shouldn't take it personal since he's just used to rating his students' work. I said I wasn't his dang student and he wasn't Gordon Ramsay to be heavily putting my efforts down in front of family. He got offended and said my reaction was way over the top since he was just giving constructive criticism in order for me to make progress, and said he was trying to help and that, quote, Gordon Ramsay comment was totally uncalled for and just a low blow to his abilities as a respectable chef with a respectable career. He then asked what made me think it was okay to come at him like that over a few ratings. He stated he was hurt and went to stay with a friend for the night, probably expecting an apology from me. Am I the asshole?
So my first thought was the Gordon Ramsay thing.
Yeah.
That was first thought.
I'm just picturing Gordon Ramsay and that one meme of him with the 2 pieces of bread and he puts it on the lady's face and he's like, "What are you?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "An idiot sandwich."
Oh my God.
But it's like, that's kind of what he's doing. Like, he's really targeting them.
Well, and that is kind of what we see in the chef food preparation world. I mean, Gordon Ramsay's one thing. But then when we watch Great British Baking Show, sometimes they're just like, this is terrible. This tastes terrible.
I know. That's like our favorite show.
And they're just like underbaked. And it's very direct. There's no beating around the bush. So my question would be, has there been a line drawn in the sand about this before? Or have they gotten into this habit of, I'm really trying to learn and I want you to criticize?
It doesn't sound like that because in the first paragraph, they mention, I didn't feel great with him rating my food no matter the score. But he says he's helping me improve. So, ...
But did they make this known?
It sounds like there was already a conversation about it based on that. Like,
okay, well,
they
that
probably mentioned it and he was like, well, I'm giving you scores because I'm helping you improve.
So that, then if there was a prior discussion, then yes, this is a big asshole-ish moment.
Yeah.
If there wasn't, I can see where you get into the habit of doing the critiques, and it might be fun to kind of show off and show this game in front of family.
Yeah.
I don't know. But if there was a prior discussion with them being uncomfortable about it, then
shut the fuck up.
then yeah, this is the worst place to be doing it. And why isn't the chef master of everything? Why aren't they making, or they probably switch off or something?
Or just like probably switch off and like it sounds like they wanted to cook like a really nice meal for, their family.
Yeah.
But like then do it together. Like or just shut up and fucking enjoy the food.
Right,
You're
right.
not having to cook, which I can imagine as a chef it's probably like it would probably be really difficult because it's like you're like some jobs you truly don't go home with your work, but we all have to eat. So it's like you're still going home and cooking and you can never escape it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like you're not the one cooking. Just enjoy it. Like I don't like everything I eat, no matter who cooks it. I cook it. It gets cooked at a restaurant. Like you're never going to be 100% happy with every single little morsel of food you put in your fucking mouth. So just shut up.
Well, and also too, I'm one of those people that isn't a super big food person, like all
Yeah.
the specialties. So I'll probably often prefer something that you or I would make over one of these top chef perfect meals or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'd be great, but we're not terribly hard to please.
No.
And it just seems like there's this prestige of this perfect meal and
Yeah.
and how everything goes together. I mean, we see it in the shows every time.
I know. Well, I just think it's so unrealistic for Jerry too. Like he has a culinary art diploma and works 2 jobs. One as a chef in a restaurant and a cooking instructor. Like he's clearly an expert in the field. Otherwise he wouldn't have these positions. So it's
Right.
like how can you expect someone who you've only been dating for 16 months and recently encouraged to start cooking, how can you expect them to have 10 out of 10? Like this is so unrealistic. Just let them have the fun of cooking. This is a new hobby, a new passion potentially
Yeah.
for them. Like, don't discourage them and be a jackass.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, maybe you could help time to time, but like, have a little tact. Ugh.
Well, and some people on the flip side might thrive under that kind of criticism. Like, I just want to know, tell me how it is. I'm trying to get better.
Yeah.
This is probably more like you said, one of those fun new hobbies to explore with someone that can guide you,
Yeah.
but maybe not in the same way as they would with a student or like on a show.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, this isn't a show. This is their real life. And I, like, personally, I know, like, I had you grade my paper once, or, like, not grade, but, like, proofread one of my papers once. And you were like, it was constructive, but I think in my mind, I was like, oh my God, he's tearing me apart. Like, it's good to get some constructive criticism from your partner from time to time, but I think it's, like, really hard when it's just, like, your partner constantly berating you, constantly grading every fucking thing you cook.
Right.
I can imagine that would be like really draining, especially something like you're trying your best.
But see, I was just trying to help.
I know you were.
I was just trying to make it as good as it possibly could be
I
for
know.
you.
And your edits were great. I was just
I made edits. I didn't come at you and say, this sounds terrible. Try this.
no, exactly. You did it in a good way. I'm just like very sensitive. And it was hard. So top comment on this one. Not the asshole. Sheesh. This is the real world, not Yelp. If you're both working on improving your cooking, then constructive criticism is generally fine. Not when it's not asked for, though. It doesn't need to be every meal.
Right.
And definitely not in front of guests. He may think he's helping, but this has turned into belittling and looks to be a power trip.
Yeah.
Your Gordon Ramsay comment was right on the money. 10 out of 10.
Yep.
Someone goes, maybe try putting things in a way he might better understand. Quote, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to have to rate you as 2.3 out of 10 as a boyfriend. Your hygiene is decided and you carry your weight financially, so that's good. But tisk, bringing your work home, being very unsupportive of my needs, and not being able to accept or even handle criticism while dishing it out is just killing your score here. Far too bitter and unpalatable to rate any higher.
I love that.
That's the thing too. Instead of having like a calm conversation about this, what did he say here? He got offended and said my reaction was way over the top. The Gordon Ramsay comment was totally uncalled for and just a low blow to his abilities as a respectable chef.
Right.
He's basically flipping the table on them and kind of gaslighting and like, oh, he storms off and went to a friend's house. Like
Yeah.
it didn't have to be that serious. Like it sounds like OP was just like, hey, please don't rate my food. Like you're not going to be able to eat anything I cook anymore if you're going to continue to do that.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
The storming off thing's always interesting to me because it's like you can just communicate and have a discussion and work through it. That's what you kind of signed up for. That's what a relationship is. I've never
Yeah.
been a storm off person,
I've needed my moments.
but needing a moment's different. I feel like you're storming off and you're staying elsewhere. Like,
It's more dramatic.
really?
It's more dramatic than just saying, hey, I just need a minute. I need to walk. I need to cool down. I just need some space for a second.
Also, can we talk about the 8.3 and the 5.2? Come on. Why can't it just be
4.8.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. Like we watch the Bake Off and they don't give fucking scores. Like the
But
technical.
come on. 5.2 versus a 5?
He's
Tell
just
me the difference.
An asshole. It's him being an asshole.
But just make it an even number.
He's a dick.
Like, think about diving. 9 out of 10.
Honestly,
8 out of 10.
I've seen Gordon Ramsay's TikToks. I think he is nicer.
I want to see what Gordon Ramsay thinks about an 8.3.
Come
on.
I think this person should cook for Gordon Ramsay. Let's go.
I'm down.
It's nice because like they're not married, so there's not such an attachment. They're 16 months in, so they're kind of over the stage of like
Still fresh.
still fresh, but 16 months, they're almost at a year and a half. That's like you should know this person really well by now. And like maybe this is the point where things are just starting to kind of like
That happens.
really bubble up.
Well, and that's when things start to slip through the cracks a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of put your guard down a little bit.
I think at around this time too, you start to realize, ooh, I've been putting up with this during my, the whole relationship. 18 months. Now we're kind of getting serious. Like,
Yeah.
you better see a future at least. So it's like, ooh, do I want to put up with this?
Yeah.
Do I want to have my food judged the rest of our lives?
True.
Ooh, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Just checking to see if there's an update. Oh, so here's someone goes, info. Before this incident, have you ever told him you didn't want him to rate your cooking? And OP goes, I did. I even explained in details how it makes me feel about cooking in general.
See, that's
out
what I
of
was.
fear of being judged, but to no avail.
See, that's what I meant. That's the
Yeah.
first thing I said is if there has not been a line drawn in the sand, then I can see how it could escalate. But if there's been a clear point to say, I'm not cool with this, then huge asshole. This is a
Yeah.
way bigger problem.
I think this is really, like, I'm reading OP's comments too right now, and I think it's really, like, some red flags are really popping
Oh
up.
yeah. I didn't that's what I wanted to know.
Okay, let's get into this a little bit then before we move on. So someone goes, not the asshole. There are other ways to give someone constructive criticism rather than rating all their cooking. Like maybe, hey babe, this is a little salty. Maybe try less salt next time. Not that hard. He sounds like he has some sort of God complex and thinks he is better than you. You need to sit him down and make him listen to how it makes you feel without him turning it around and making himself the victim. And so OP goes, yeah, and I'm open to them, not gonna lie, but already said I don't feel great about my cooking whenever he starts rating it, despite him saying he loves it no matter how flawed it is.
Yeah, and who knows?
How flawed it is.
My guess is that they're not also trying to be a professional chef. And so if you started producing music and you're like, I'm just going to try it just for fun because it looks, I just love like the process and seeing you do it. And it just seems like something that'd be kind of fun to try. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, why'd you choose this sound? And this part's just not good. Like, I would be very supportive and just kind of excited that you wanted to experience something in my world.
Yeah.
And to have that, it would just be something so fun, I think, to do.
And that's how a couple should have a shared interest when one of the partners is an expert. Like this, like in the...
I don't think I'm an expert. But.
You're an expert. You're really good at what you do. It's supposed to be fun and you're sharing this passion of yours, but it's turned into something that is not that.
Yeah, it's just mean.
Yeah. So someone goes, not the asshole. He's rude and cannot read a room. Needs a lesson in etiquette and to get the fuck off his high horse. Him staying with a friend is also a huge red flag.
Yes.
To be honest, I would be done. And OP goes, he is like this with every fight, honestly.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
I would be taking all the flags and running with this one. I think it's time to call it.
Might be.
There's a lot of really good comments. Someone goes, you can clear this problem up quick. Start rating the sex. Someone goes, I would ask him why he sees you as his student and not girlfriend. What he did was incredibly rude and uncalled for. Do you guys go to a restaurant and he rates the food too? Not the
Right.
not the asshole. Tell him to make his own food. OP responds back to that and goes, yeah, he does, especially if it's a restaurant that I pick. But he does it in a way that is more of complaining rather than rating it. I try not to make a huge fuss over it since he says he's just giving an opinion, and so I should not be policing his words as he claimed several times.
That can't be a cop-out for everything.
No.
Come on.
It's to the point where it's clearly really uncomfortable. And even if you're like, okay, I'm just trying to help you get better, they don't want the help. They've said, it makes me uncomfortable. Please don't rate me.
That's the thing that changed it all. Yeah.
And so at that point, you should be just concerned about how your partner feels and making them feel good and making them feel like they're succeeding and accomplishing and make it lighthearted. Like the one person said, hey babe, it's a little salty.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to cook anymore.
No. Really frustrating. Really frustrating. This was posted 10 days ago. No update yet.
You're in such a great position to help and make this such a cool thing.
But he's an asshole. He just fucking sucks.
Yeah,
Dump his ass. Call it quits.
I'm with you.
He clearly doesn't know what it takes to be a partner either if he runs out of every fight like that. Like a big one where you need space, you got to cool off, sure. But every fucking fight,
Yeah.
that's not a partner. That's not a safe partnership where you can openly communicate your feelings. Fuck you, food guy. Okay. I don't think there's any more food ones. But
I like that on some level. I'm starting to it's very satisfying when the comments say kind of what you say before you read them.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying.
I know, I really like that too.
It's validating.
It is validating.